It's National Signing Day. Well, technically it's early signing day, which is kind of weird because now everyone signs early. Like, why don't you just make this signing day? Because signing day normally is like February 2nd, somewhere around that time, but whatever. It's National Signing Day for high school football players to sign their letter of intent to go play for whatever college football program they want to, whether it's East Carolina, UNC, App, whatever it is. Today is the first day that you can do that. So much emphasis in recent days and recent weeks has been the transfer portal since it opened up right after the conference championship game. So much has been on the transfer portal about, NC State going to get Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina, or they get Wesley Grimes from Wake Forest, or they got Jordan Waters from Duke, the running back. So much has been put onto that, but guess what? These guys out of high school still got to go play somewhere.
Yeah.
Because so much like, just go to the portal and get guys. Like, well, these guys got to go from high school into college somewhere. And there are still great talented players that can help your team right away. So, yeah, you still need to recruit guys from high school. That stuff still matters.
It does.
You have to be a team that's willing to go and still recruit some high-end high school players. You have to do that. And we're seeing Carolina, NC State, all bringing in some top-end guys. Like, for example, UNC, four-star wide receiver Jordan Shipp from Providence High School, just outside of Charlotte. They got a safety, Malcolm Ziegler from Fuquay-Varina High School, which is nearby where we're located in the Triangle. We're located here in Raleigh. So they got a four-star safety from Fuquay-Varina. But they also have seen some guys actually flip, which is kind of an interesting. So there was a UNC recruit from Weddington High School, a four-star wide receiver, Keenan Jackson. He flipped from North Carolina to NC State.
Uh-oh.
Grimsley wide receiver Terrell Anderson had also already signed, committed to NC State. So there was actually possible speculation that he could flip. He's like, nope, still sticking with NC State. So NC State flipped the four-star receiver that was going to Carolina, and then they also have their other four-star receiver coming in as well. So the NC State is actually has two four-star receivers coming in, along with Casey Concepcion, along with Wesley Grimes that they got from the transfer portal. So they've been able to flip and move guys around a little bit as well. So there's a lot going on when it comes to recruiting classes. But, man, I will say this, though. NC State's been making some moves this offseason.
Yeah, they have.
It's amazing how that middle part of the season, they're like rough around 3-3 or so. And we're like, man, this has not been a good year for NC State. Not been a good year.
Not at all.
And then the stuff with MJ Morris at quarterback, him electing to not play after they decided to put him in. He's like, sure, I'll play. Ends up deciding, no, I want to keep my red shirt.
Yeah.
Brendan Armstrong goes back in, and they end the season on a hot streak.
Yeah, they
finish
did.
9-3, and you beat your rival school massively. I'm like, blew out North Carolina to end the season, and you finish 9-3. And Dave Doeren at postgame's like, hey, people, need help with the collective. We got to make sure we keep these guys. And guess what? The collectives and the fan base, whomever, they all rallied together. They started raising a bunch of money. And then now they're flipping recruits, and they're getting guys from the transfer portal as well. It's like, wait a second. NC State really pushing hard this offseason.
Fans are real excited for next year, as they should be.
As you should be. As you really should be. And NC State really trying to separate itself here in the state of North Carolina away from UNC, because we saw UNC in recent years getting some of those top end recruits.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now, not so UNC is still getting, I just mentioned a couple of the four-star guys. Now, the day is still long. There's still a lot to be determined when it comes to, who's recruiting and stuff. But, I mean, heck, we're seeing actually down at the University of Florida. I was talking with our good friend Tim Donnelly, who hosts on the afternoon here on 99.9 The Fan, our flagship station here for the Adam Gold Show. He hosts in the afternoon from 3 to 6. Talking with him about a lot of guys that were initially had verbally committed to Florida. Some guys started to flip and go to other places, and they started, wait a second, I thought I was maybe going to play with that guy. So there's a bunch of people kind of jumping off ship at Florida.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you get beat by your rival in-state school, Florida State, and you finish the year 5-7.
Messy.
That kind of stuff matters a ton.
It does.
I mean, I can only imagine what things are going to look like if NC State does get their 10th win, if they do win their bowl game, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. It's just Yeah, it's been a good few weeks for NC State football. But recruiting day is going on, or National Signing Day, early signing day is taking place. It's a fun time. It's always fun to expect. It's almost like the NFL draft, where you're like, oh, we got this guy in the third round. Like, ooh, I really like the way he plays. I like this. You know, like
yeah,
he kind of drums up
game of
excitement.
chess.
Exactly.